What's going on, people? So I got a box of shoes here and a handful of other stuff. So since I know most people are just kind of here for the shoe thing, and I get that or whatever, I'll lead with that, and then knock out this other stuff. So that way, if that's what you're here for, you can just kind of get in, get out, and be on with your day. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like my gift to you. So here we go. It's a lot of scribbling and labels on here. Now this box in particular came from, where did this come from? I can't even. Foot Patrol. It's one of those British places, maybe, or maybe it was Germany. I don't know, but I do know they put a lot of stuff on this box, and so now we can get into this, right? Which it wasn't my first choice of buying from or whatever, but it's kind of one of those raffle situations. So let's see. Does it say on here what this cost? It was 136 in British pounds. So whatever that comes out to nowadays. I used to know because I did live there for a little while, but now I live here in Virginia, so who knows what it is. Well, real quick, for the people who might want to see it, even though it's unlikely to focus very much or whatever, that right there is the side of the box. It looks like it is focusing just a bit. So there you go. Dunk Low SP. I don't know what the SP stands for. If somebody out there knows, feel free to say something. Will I look it up between now and the time when I do the actual review? I mean, I'll definitely have time, but I will likely not do it, to be completely honest with you, because I don't know. I mean, I tend to just not care. I'm a big Air Max guy, and I didn't bother to look up what SC stands for. I just directed people to somebody else's channel because I know that there was an answer there. So, likely to do the same. So there you go. There's this. Looking it over real quick. Make sure everything looks like it's fine and on the up and up or whatever. And I saw the sizings on the side, so did the math properly. Whole size difference for the UK, so 8.5 over there, 9.5 over here. And this is the veneer Dunk Low, right? I don't know what the interest level was like on this. I saw it on Foot Patrol and a couple other places, and I thought, oh, well, I'll put it on that over here. Maybe nobody's really trying to buy these over here because it's going to cost a little more, which it did. And I won the raffle, obviously, but before that raffle even ended, I think I saw them for sale on End, like as just up there. They had a raffle initially, End did, but I guess I saw people saying that they didn't win the raffle, but then they were fully stocked after the fact. So I don't know what that was. Long story short, I didn't have to spend the extra money on these. I could have just bought them for a good deal less. But what's done is done. I did want these kind of because they remind me of Donatello, and I'm a big Ninja Turtles guy. So that is basically it. There was a similar pair that reminded me of Michelangelo, had some orange, but that didn't work out, right? So I ended up with these, and I'm fine with them. I mean, it's a lot of suede going on here, right? It's not really like my preferred thing because it means you can't quite wear them in all the elements or whatever because it's just not made for that. If it's like raining or snowing or whatever like that, or if there's just puddles everywhere, this isn't really like the guy you want on your feet. So if it was standard leather, it would have been better, at least in my opinion. But I'll take what I can get. Like I said, it was only because I like Ninja Turtles. I don't care about dunks. I have one pair, and I was thinking when I did that review, yeah, I'm probably not going to get another one. But there is that. I will slip these on real quick though, because I'm not 100% sure what sizing is like. The one pair of dunks I have is from a couple, like 2 years ago, maybe. I wore them once, hated it, and that was the end of it. But I mean, comfort level is just different. So these actually fit really nicely. So that's cool. I highly suspect they will not feel that great, just midsole wise. And I'm used to running shoes, so there is that. A little personal bias there. I get it. So your mileage may vary on if you like walking around in these. I just don't see it happening, not for me. But at least they're working out for me so far. They fit right, so there's that. What's going on, Mr. EW1 or E1? As I know it's said like that, but I always say EW1, even in my head, like when I read it. That's just what comes out. But hey, how are you doing today? So now that's that. I'm going to open up this pack of shirts that I got from Nike.com some time ago. But like I said before, if you were just here for shoe related things, that's over. Like you can go on about your day. I get it. that's kind of like the main thing of the channel or whatever. So if you don't want to watch this other stuff, I mean, you don't have to. Like I said before, I just want, if that's what you're here for, I want you to be able to get in, get out, move on with your day. So let's open these things up. I do my share normally of like running and active wear type stuff, right? So I need certain clothes for that. It just works out. So this right here is, what is this thing called? I saw it. It's a Nike or Dry Fit ADV for advanced, I guess. Retail of $80, which is obscene, right? That's not going to focus in because the camera can't even process it, right? But here it is. It looks pretty much like a basic shirt. I did get this on some kind of deal, whatever the sale was. I think it was around the same time I got those purple VaporMax 23s, because those were like deeply discounted. I assume these were too. And this right here is a similar style shirt, right? It's just gonna see, has the trail thing on there. It's a trail version of it. And this one was only $65, but still of the dry fit variety. Just doesn't have that ADV thing going on. But it should be pretty nice and lightweight to wear, so I'm gonna be breaking that out hopefully soon. Weather's looking pretty decent. Sun has been out more often than not, so the trails and such shouldn't be trash. So yeah, that's the thing to do around here, like at least if you're me, right? They've got a nice number of parks and whatnot, and I try to take advantage. And then we have this right here. It's got some weird design that you can't quite make out, I don't think. But there's that. It says running division. That was super clear on the screen, but when I looked at this just now, I was like, what is that? So same as the first shirt, right? So this one probably 90. I was about to say probably 80, but 90. $90 for a shirt is just unnecessary. I don't know what this thing is made of, if it's like magic or something, but that seems like a lot if you were going retail. I don't know. So I'll be breaking those out later, see what they're all about or whatever. Let you know if it's worth $90, which I'm going to tell you right now, unlikely. Got a handful of Roosevelt shirts here. So if you've been around a while, or even if you haven't, I guess, you may have seen that I do a lot of Roosevelt shirt openings and whatnot. They're a little pricey, right? Retail wise, $70 a shirt, but they make a lot of stuff that I'm into, so I keep buying them. And it gives me different stuff to wear to work. That's the only place where I actually wear these things. So let's see what's going on in here. So they do come in these nice bags. I'll do this for the first one. You know, it's got the name on there, Roosevelt and stuff. Down at the bottom tells you like what shirt is in there, because it's got like a little name and the sizing and all that. Little Ziploc bag type of deal going on at the top. Keeps the moisture out and all that good stuff. So here we go. Here's this. And these do come with stickers. So there's a little sticker in the bag for you, right? So set that down. This first up right here is, I don't remember the name of it, could have read it off the thing, but it was from their Marvel release, right? So you just kind of have all over a bunch of Marvel stuff happening right there. So there's going to be that. I'll do a closer up video of this at some point, as I usually do. But right now, I'm just trying to get through this stuff, right? I'm not trying to be here all day. People that are watching this probably aren't trying to watch it all day, right? So I think we're both on the same page there. That's why I'm just kind of breezing on through it. What is happening in here? So this one came with some kind of book. So Breakfast Digest was probably just going to be some of their shirts. They have these breakfast ones that are usually like just straight polo shirts, like, you know, like the 3 buttons. I can't work like that. You know what I'm saying? I need like all the way down. So, because it's easier for me to take off. So that way when work is over, I can just slip that thing off, run off to the gym, you know? I don't have to like go pulling it over my head and all this stuff. I know I make it sound like it's a lot of work. It's not, but I don't want to do it. I just give me the buttons all the way down. Those are the ones that I like. Let's see, is there anything else in here? I don't think so, just that book. So cool. Once again, another fancy bag. Got a lot of stuff on there. Let's get this thing opened up, see what we're seeing. And somebody says Fort Dodge, Iowa. I can honestly say I've never heard of Fort Dodge, Iowa. I don't think so anyway. I moved away from Iowa when I was like 10. I still go back, you know, in the summers and other holidays or whatever, just to kind of visit family and stuff. Oh, there we go. I was looking for the sticker in here. So Dare Mighty Things, that's the one that came with this. So I still go back pretty regularly, but what that means is that my geographical knowledge, not good. This is a Fraggle Rock shirt. So if you are in my age group, I guess, maybe you remember Fraggle Rock, and maybe you also would have bought this shirt. Apparently, a lot of people were into this because it's sold out on the internet, which I did not see that coming because I thought, oh, this one will probably be kind of cool. Some people might be into it. So unless they only made like one of them, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I was very surprised because I saw the woman's version sold out pretty quick. We'll also add that right now. When you go on there, they have men's, they have women's, and they have youth for like mostly everything that I've ever seen on there. So depending on what you are, buy from the right category. Because a coworker once bought the wrong shirt because he bought a youth shirt and he is a dude, like a full grown dude, It's like 6.5 feet tall or something. So it did not work out for him. Got another sticker in here. There's that, some kind of like angry taco thing. Kind of reminds me of something you'd see on Aqua Teen Hunger Force if there were any fans of that out there. This shirt here comes from the Power Rangers universe. So flipping that around right there, you can kind of see it's an all over print sort of deal happening, right? I wanted this one. I thought it was really cool. I didn't think people would really buy it, and it sold out. And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. But they did a restock of sorts, and so then I was able to get it. And I actually called this shirt out in a video that I did a while ago about Roosevelt's reviews because I was like, oh, yeah, sometimes they do sell out. And I use that as an example. But patience, persistence, whatever you want to call it, sometimes works out. And so I was able to eventually get that. And now I can, I don't know, be happy about it, I guess. I do like the way it came out. It looks really cool. Speaking of, though, these shirts are kind of pricey. I did say that a moment ago. Retail price being right around $70. All right, it's even, well, I'll show you in a second. Right at 70, sometimes a little more for the bamboo versions, sometimes a little less for older models. But the thing is it worth it? Well, that's kind of a question for you. Same sticker we just saw a moment ago. It's kind of a question for you. To me, I would say yes, obviously, because I'm buying these, right? If you like the design that much, if it's something that really speaks to you, I mean, I like Venom and Spider-Man, right? That's what you're seeing here. See a lot of Venom, a lot of Spider-Man, all that stuff. So if that's a thing that works for you, then yeah, go for it. I mean, the shirts are nice, they're lightweight, they're comfortable. See that? That's what I was saying down there. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if it's, oh, that looked kind of bad for a minute. Looks like the quality of this camera, or at least of this feed, is kind of in and out. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But yeah, so I like them. I think most people would be content with the shirt that they bought. It's just separating with $70 for a shirt. That's a lot to ask, right? But they are nice, and you got to consider the fact that they're buying all these copyright things or however that works so that they can print this stuff. I mean, Disney things don't come cheap, right? And that's what this is. It's a Disney X-Men 97 all over print shirt, right? This one I wanted for sure, and it sold out immediately. Luckily, I had made sure I was leaving work at an early enough time that day so I could be online and like buy this. Though, unfortunately, because I was kind of like rushing through it, I ended up having to make more than one order because there was something else that I wanted. So ended up paying a little extra for shipping. But either way, I like it and I'm glad I got it. So if you see something and you like it, I would say just go with it, I mean, think it over first. Don't just pull the trigger randomly. But if you look at it, you like it, a day or two later, you're still wanting it, go ahead and pick it up, right? Worst case scenario, you get it and you're not into it, then you can just send it back, get your refund, and be on your way. Oh, BX is in there. Look at that. What are you up to there, Mr. BX? What you got going on today? Out there saving the world still? I believe that's what you do for a living. And then Mark Nell says, hope you've got some wrestling merch in there too. I do, actually. So not to spoil anything, there's not a whole, actually, is there? There's not a whole lot, but there's some stuff that should be pretty all right. So stay tuned for me to get through this Roosevelt's piece. I do have some Roosevelt's shirts. I have a Hacksaw Jim Duggan, 2 Bray Wyatts, Undertaker, 2 Bret Harts, and I feel like there's something else, right? John Cena also, right? Yeah, I got that one too. Another sticker. There's going to be that for you, right? So if I can, maybe I should sit here so that way you don't see that glare in the middle of that camera. I don't know about you guys, but it's a little annoying to me, but I have stuff here, so it's kind of affecting how I sit. This right here, you got Deadpool, right? So you got Deadpool. If you bring it back and kind of make that out a little bit more, bring it in, you see a lot of little speech bubbles, him saying various things. So there you go. There's that. I do like Deadpool. Seemed like a cool shirt to have. And another one of these little magazines. Remember when East Bay and those guys used to send out all those magazines all the time? For a while, you could still get that if you like requested one. I don't think they do that anymore, which is kind of unfortunate because I always thought it was pretty cool. But I also didn't really need them. I did get a pretty nice Saucony one like a while ago. That was like, there's all kinds of cool running shoes and hiking shoes or trail shoes, whatever in there. I don't know if anybody's Saucony fans out there, but they make some pretty nice stuff. All right. What is this? Another Marvel shirt. There's a lot of Marvel shirts in here because they just did a Marvel release. So this one, it's a lot of those little corners that you would see on like comic books where it has like the price and all that stuff. It's like 12 cents, 35 cents, various properties and such, right? Or various characters, I should say, whatever the right wording is there. So not bad at all. In case you're wondering, today, on top of this Riddle Box shirt, I did have a Joker shirt on because that kind of works hand in hand now, doesn't it? So I don't have that one on anymore, obviously. Thought about keeping it on just because I was doing this unboxing and then to show it off to the world. But then I took it off and forgot. So here we are. Actually, you know what? You were asking about a wrestling shirt. Here is a wrestling shirt. I'll leave with that one first just so you can see it. And it comes in this like fairly plain bag. Not sure what the deal is, but my Bret Hart one came in the same style. Let's read some comments. I'm waiting for the Lakers game to start. I resigned from being a superhero with benefits and the benefits are trash. Well, I don't believe that. Not at all. Not even a little bit. But we'll have to catch up sometime though, Mr. X. And William says, yo, what's up? I thought I would pop in and see what's going on, but I got basketball, so can't for long. Hey, man, you got some real life living to do. That trumps this any day of the week. And twice on Sundays, as some people say. It's one of those weird sayings. And then Cam says, what's up, man? Glad I finally caught a live stream. Well, I missed one. I'm going to come back to that. I'm waiting on the CM Punk Mineral Wash long sleeve. Interesting. I just had a mineral wash shirt on the other day. Becky Lynch. I also have a Braun Strowman one. I guess I was a Braun Strowman fan for a couple days. I don't know. So yeah, those shirts can be pretty cool. And as for Cam saying he finally caught a live stream, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope you didn't go out of your way for it because I feel like you're not really missing out on a lot if you don't see these. But I mean, I could be wrong. I've never watched one. This right here, Mr. T. You see that? Yeah, let's bring that in where the buttons aren't on there. So, like I said, this is a wrestling shirt, kind of, sort of. I mean, he was on wrestling, right? That's even why they did this. I think it was, let's see, Series 6. So this one was a while ago. I guess it came out with like that one Bret Hart shirt that I have that has like where he's dressed like Orange Cassidy, with all the denim. So there's that. And now, moving on. I also am a big fan of Looney Tunes. It's a thing I watched a lot of growing up. So that's all this is, right? Just a lot of that stuff happening. It's kind of a weird color, but I thought, you know what? Why not? It'll go fairly well with those Air Max TWs I have that I wore that one time when I did a review or something. Might be about time to break those out. But again, it's new shoes only for this month. So what can you do? But I do like this one. It's pretty cool. It has a nice old vintagey look to it. So I'm glad with that. Seems like it's going to work out all right. And of course, it came with a little sticker in here. So there's that for you. Set that guy down there. Move on to this is the last Roosevelt shirt. So yeah, I buy a lot of these things. They're really cool. They actually have a reward system, which I did not realize for a long time. Well, I saw that. I'd get the emails. Oh, you earn points or whatever. their mighty things. It's like, oh, you earned some points. Here's that. And I'm like, whatever. Because I tried to redeem them once, and they gave me a code for $15 off. I'm like, oh, that's barely anything for these, but it's not at least nice. But then I went back recently, and I happened to click on it. I'm like, I have like 1,000,000 points now. I could get like a bunch of free shirts from them, like full price shirts, like for free at this point, which is crazy, you know? So I'm going to be taking advantage of that. Then I'll probably have even more of these things. Once again, we have another Deadpool shirt. This one, you might not quite catch it if you're just seeing me in passing or something. But as you get in there, then you can kind of make it out just a little bit. A lot of violent stuff going on. But that's the thing I hear from people at work. They'll like see me walk by and like, oh, that's a cool shirt. And then they'll look at me a little closer and like, oh, is that so and so? They must be really pushing this one. This must be the new design or something. So there's that. Okay, now that is all the, well, it's all the Roosevelt shirts. Still got a couple more shirts in general. Anybody ever use that shop thing, like shop.app? I use it a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people do just because that's how a lot of people's checkout systems are. But if you buy stuff on there, you end up with free dollars or something, and then you got to spend them, otherwise they expire. So I saw this shirt, and I was like, oh, and Children of the Corn, right? Yeah, it's like, I like corn, you know, I like black and yellow. So let's do that, right? So I picked this up because it was something to use all those free dollars I had, right? So then you end up getting a whole shirt for basically like a couple of dollars because, you know, maybe it's not enough to cover like all the shipping or whatever. But it's kind of a cool thing. I do like it. Also, if you install the shop.app thing on your phone or whatever, you can do some searches on there for stuff because that's how I got that Moon Knight Yamaguchi figure. I really wanted that Moon Knight, and it had sold out on Big Bad Toy Store initially. Didn't want to be left without, you know what I'm saying? This comes from Amazon. It's just a Ninja Turtle shirt. Nothing fancy about it. But Ninja Turtles and then kind of like a black and white sort of thing. So, you know, Ninja Turtles fan. I was just talking about Ninja Turtle shoes. Remember that? Or shoes that make me think of the Ninja Turtles. I wonder what's going on with this camera. Like every so often, not the camera, but the connection. Every so often, I see it like kind of slow down. Not sure what's going on with that, but whatever. I mean, nothing else is like even online right now, and I have a decent connection. I mean, unless you want to count this all-time low that's playing in the background, but I don't think anybody can hear that now, can you? Oh, okay, here we go. Here's some wrestling stuff. Let's get this opened up real quick. This I was actually looking forward to for a while. Like how long? Probably like the better part of like 30 years. Because I was a Headbangers fan from the time I first saw them back in like 97, 98, you know, maybe like 98 when they had like, the Insane Clown Posse on there and stuff too. But then they just kind of, you know, disappeared for a while or whatever. So I never really got any shirts of them. And they weren't on a Legends deal until recently. So that's why they didn't have any figures or t-shirts out. So when I saw this come back around, I just happened to see it. I don't even remember how. I went right to the website and bought it immediately. I do still want the one where it just has their heads on it and like the spider webs behind it. But I figured if they don't come out with that one, I'm at least not walking away empty-handed. So there you go, Mosh, Thrasher, the Headbangers. Yeah, this was one of my favorite tag teams back then. Actually, all the tag teams were really cool back then, even like the Godwins and stuff, you know? It was weird. It's an odd time to be a wrestling fan in a lot of ways when you look back at it now. But it made for some really good memories, you know? Like Phineas I. Godwin and Henry O. Godwin, you know, Hog and Pig, or Pig and Hog as it's spelled out. Like, what is that, right? But you watch it and it's fun. And speaking of watching things and them being fun and just more modern times, remember this one? Like the R-Truth and the Judgment Day? Remember when he was in the Judgment Day? Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. And to him, it's still happening. Even has a little design on the back, too. So that's cool. I will say this. The print job on this is awful, but I think that's by design. I think that's intended. Because I've seen them do some nice prints, and this is just not one of them. From a distance, it's fine, but once you get in there, it's all grainy and pixelated. It's like a camera phone picture from 1995 or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if it had camera phones at that point, but I'm just saying, it's garbage. Let's see. Now Mark is saying awesome shirt. I also agree. How am I opening this thing up? Because now I've got to figure out how this thing's going to work. Sometimes these things are a little weird. They don't want to come all the way open. Let's see. Awesome shirt. WWE shirts are pretty decent, although I find PWT offs fit much better. Yeah, the pro wrestling tees is like the place to get shirts. Like, it's a consistent experience, and I talked about this in a video a while ago. One of my WWE shop fanatics unboxing things. The WWE shirts, it's like you can buy two things that released at the same exact time, and they fit differently. Material's different, the print job is different. But pro wrestling tees, like if you're buying those soft styles or you're buying the standard ones or whatever you're buying, tank tops, it is a consistent experience across the board, and that is the thing I'm a huge fan of. So I've got a poster here. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up real quick. So some of you might know that during WrestleMania time frame, they usually release, and the other times, they'll often release a bunch of new posters or whatever. Ooh, that almost went bad. Almost ripped off some paint because of the tape. So this one comes from the same person who did the, you see that, right? This one comes from the same person who did the two behind me and the posters on the walls everywhere else. So it's from WrestleMania something, right? So you got like Undertaker and CM Punk in there. I'm trying to hold this up in a way that you can actually see it. So this one is going to be the size of the Undertaker poster. If you ever seen maybe some of like my like little movie review type clips, the Undertaker poster over there, this is that size. Forget what these are, but there's slightly smaller. What is that, a 24 by something? I don't know. But either way, this one's going to be a good deal bigger. So I'm going to have to get another poster frame for this, but I want to say they do still have some of these on the website. So if you're into posters and WrestleMania of different years, go check it out. But the guy, what's his name? Jonathan Bartlett. He does some cool work. He also did the cover of the most recent WWE game, 2K24, I guess. So there's that, right? There's some comments in here that I didn't see. Hi, and that t-shirt is cool. Thanks. I'm not sure what shirt you're talking about, but I'm going to agree to it. And from which company is that t-shirt from? Well, once again, I don't know where you jumped in, so I can't really say what you might be talking about because I honestly don't know. But if you describe the shirt, then I can give you an answer. All right. So now, let's see. I'll open this one next because the last two things are basically the same things from different places. So let's get in here while I wait on Nitro to respond to me. Or maybe that's Nitro, but it looks like, ooh. That would be from fanatics.com. Fanatics.com also sells a lot of like jerseys and things of that nature, you know, because first and foremost, it's a sports store, right? I mean, I bought lanyards from like the Hawkeyes and I bought some random other stuff, but it's mostly just sports store. But you can also find a lot of the wrestling stuff on wweshop2.com. The advantage, though, is that like Fanatics seems to have more sales, and like when they have sales, they are site wide, whereas the WWE shop sales are, I'm not gonna say they're few and far between, but they're not as like regular with it. So there's that to be considered. But if you see something on WWE shop and you go look for it on Fanatics, you'll probably find it. More than likely, you'll find it. All right, so that's just some IDW propaganda. We'll set that down. Godzilla, Here Lie the Dragons, or Here There Be Dragons. So I saw this. It's autographed by the guy who wrote it, right? Frank Thierry. So, you know, people made it seem like it's a decent read, and I thought, you know, since it's autographed, that's kind of cool. Artwork is pretty decent. I like a lot of things that IDW has done. So I figured I'll go ahead and pick this thing up, see what it's all about. Worst case scenario, a friend of mine at work His son is a big Godzilla fan, and if I don't like it, I'm sure he will be super into it. So I'll just part ways with it and let that be that. So have not bought anything from Fanatics in a while. I used to buy from them a lot. Now I buy from them still somewhat regularly, but the thing is, I have like, you probably wouldn't believe how many shirts I have in my closet. Like, and I'm talking just wrestling shirts, right? So I don't buy a whole lot from them anymore now, only for that reason. That, and I'm not super big on how like the experience has been going lately. Like, they make some good shirts, some cool designs, but it's just the quality of the shirt itself can be questionable, and you don't know what you're going to get all the time. So where did this come from? This is just one. So this came from Dave and Alan, or Dave and something's card collecting, whatever. And it came with a pack of World of Warrior cards. I don't know what that is, but they were free, so I'll take it. Marvel Platinum, right? So this is a hobby box. To anybody out there who does any sort of card collecting, you know what I'm talking about. But for the others, I'll fill you in. When you go to like a store like Walmart, Target, whatever, you know, not KB Toys, GameStop. I don't know why I thought KB Toys. GameStop, Best Buy, right? Even Barnes and Noble. If you see card boxes there, they're usually like just the blaster boxes or whatever, where it's just like a little box, you know, it has like a handful of cards in there. I picked up some of these, threw some of those at Target, bought them out, right? I saw a box at the local store over here, bought them, liked them, went to the Target, they had some, spent like $80 on boxes of cards that day. It was ridiculous. But I wanted some more, and I saw these. A friend of mine had bought a box, and I thought, well, let me try that because he got some cool stuff out of here. Every now and then with these, you might find like a one of one, one of five, or something autographed, whatever. That even like the bad ones can sell for like a couple thousand sometimes, you know, or at least several hundred too, you know. So I thought I'm gonna get some of these because maybe I'll get something cool in there that I would like to have. And in worst case scenario, I find something in here that I don't care so much for, and that offsets the cost of how much this actually set me back. So not a bad deal. That was about $230, right? The prices do shift along with like, you know, market availability and such. So when I first saw those, the hobby boxes were only 200. But as they started to sell and people started to catch on to buying them, the prices went up. But then I called this other place, Collector World, and they were all like, "Oh yeah, we have some of those, and they're only 180." So I was like, "Oh well, I've got some money with your name on it, so send me two of those." And they sent me two of those. So now I have three of these things, right? And I'm gonna open these up at some point, see what's going on in there. Which between the three of them, there's got to be something good in at least one of these. So that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I got a one of 300 Wolverine the other day out of one of those standard boxes, and that's pretty cool. So hopefully something good is in one of these two. I'm missing a lot of stuff. Killamah 42, what's going on, man? Been a little while. Mostly because I haven't been out on the Dell's channel. I know you hang out there a lot. Hope you're doing all right. And he said, yeah, KB. It just kind of came out because I was thinking of where people buy stuff or whatever, and that was the thing that I thought of. But yeah, so I am looking forward to breaking these out. I'll have to get some pictures or video uploaded or something to show you what these things look like. But even the basic cards in here just look so good, which is why I was okay with parting with more money than I probably should have spent on these things. But again, it's either going to work out and I'm going to get a lot of stuff that I want to have, or I'm going to at least get a couple things in there that will offset the however much it comes to that I spent on all three of those. Whatever, that is a problem for future Tristan. So we're going to do a quick recap, mostly just on the shoes for those who missed it. I remember a man of certain ages. See, okay, so yeah, you're in my age group, which, well, or at least around there, perhaps. I don't know. I'm in the 42 range exactly. So wherever you sit there, higher or lower, but I'm guessing within a couple years, right? So either way, started off with these right here. I'm wrapping this thing up real quick though. But while I'm wrapping this thing up, if anybody has any questions or whatever they want to throw my way and they want me to respond to them, now is the time to get those questions all put together, typed out, and sent out, right? because I'm going to wrap this thing up. And when that happens, then I kind of walk away from this, right? So the main thing I sat down here to do when I started doing this was to talk about these right here, because I just unboxed them from Foot Patrol for a cool 140 British pounds, whatever that comes out to, I don't know. But I will say this, I should have just waited because I could have bought them from End for a cheaper price. But hey, what's done is done. I just thought that since they're dunks, I figured people would be buying them up. But I guess maybe the dunk thing has kind of dried up a little bit, which is kind of cool. But I do like them, right? I'm not a huge fan of the whole all suede thing, but it makes for a decent look. So whatever, just got to be careful what day you choose to wear them. I mean, it's not all suede because like this brown on the back and this brown up here is kind of like your standard like meshy type stuff. But overall, I do like them. So there's that. So if you were looking to get a pair of these, I'm guessing you can probably do that for a pretty decent price, even on like the Gilts and StockX's of the world. So there we go. But all right, so I think that, let's see, what a blessing that made it. Yeah, it's weird because like when I hear about people like say like Brian Pillman or something, British Bulldog, and various other people like that passed away in like early mid 30s, and I'm just like, heart attacks and all this. Now granted, they lived a different life, had some extracurricular activities that aren't always the best, you know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy when I hear about that, and now I'm like, oh man, am I living on borrowed time? Like I could go any day now. What's happening here, But it's a thing that sits in the back of your head when you start to look at some of those things. Is when you're like 15 and some guy who's like 35 passes away, you're just like, oh, that's too bad. And people, oh man, he was so young. Like, was he? He was 35. Dude was ancient. But now that I'm over that age, it's like, that's how I look at people who are like 55, So just saying, if you're 55 and you're watching this, like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe like get to bed or something. It's like 7:10. What are you doing? So that's going to be it for me. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thanks for the people that stopped in to watch me talk about this nonsense. I'll slip a couple timestamps in there after this. Probably just the 3 for the shoes, the Roosevelt stuff, and then everything else. Maybe the wrestling will get its own timestamp too. So that way people at least know what they're getting into and they can just like watch what they want to watch, I'm a big fan of convenience and a bigger fan of not wasting people's time. So that's why the videos are done the way they're done, in case anybody's ever been curious. There you go. So again, thanks for everybody that stopped in. I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your day when you could be doing any of the million things that are better than doing this. But you chose to do this for reasons that I would question, honestly. But I'm grateful for it. I truly am, all jokes aside. I do mean that. But please go on, do something else with your day. PlayStation Pumas drop on the 18th. I'm going to have to look into that. Because I missed out on what's the last PlayStation release? They had like the light up. I think there were 2 versions. One lit up and one didn't. But that was like 18, 17? I'm thinking like 17. And I didn't get those Nintendo 64 Air Max 97s for, I don't even know what happened there. I guess I was just like waiting on a sale and forgot because like I knew that they were going to go on sale. But yeah, so I'm going to have to look into those Puma things because that one would have slipped past me. So appreciate that. But on that note, again, thank you everybody for stopping in. I will cross paths with you later, more than likely, but we'll find out how that plays out in the future. Later, people.